Well, it's time now for another look through the papers with Deeptika Laurent. She's here in studio with me. Good to have you back with us, Deepti.
Hi, Sharon.
You're starting this hour with those deadly clashes in Iraq following the resignation of an influential Shiite cleric. It's garnering an awful lot of attention as expected in the Middle East today.
That's right. This unrest is really being seen by a lot of the Middle Eastern press in the framework of what does this mean for Iraq, which was already going through a lot of political chaos? A lot of alarm in the papers today. The headline from the Saudi paper Arab News reads that Iraq is on the verge of civil war. So you see this really strong language on its front page. It comes after the influential Shiite cleric Muqtada al-Sadr announced and has now quit politics. His supporters stormed the presidential palace. This led to clashes with a rival Shiite bloc, which is backed by Iran. The two groups have really been unable to form a coalition since elections last year. One analyst cited by Arab News says that the cleric's strategy is not clear, but that he has essentially given the green light to his supporters to do what they want to do. And this is why this resignation could plunge Iraq into civil war, as Arab News says. Another Saudi paper, the Al-Shaq Al-Awsat, that's an Arab language paper, evokes a shock at his resignation. His decision has deepened the political chaos in Iraq, and they're going with a front page picture of Sadr's supporters storming the presidential palace located in the green zone, that highly secure green zone in Baghdad.
And we've had rockets fired on the green zone this morning, and one Iraqi paper, it's wondering if there might be other parties involved in the escalating violence there.
Well, the editor of the Iraqi paper, Azaman, wonders, how did the situation get so out of control so quickly? Why was the unresolved outcome of last year's elections not properly dealt with? Fatah Abdul Salam, the editor, asks. He also surmises, without really saying whom, more of an inference, I guess, that there might be third or even a fourth party with nefarious intentions that are involved in some way in escalating this violence. Those responsible for the deaths of the supporters is still a little murky. He evokes, quote, blind stubbornness and hollow determination by politicians in Iraq to continue making mistakes that has really led to today's situation.
Moving then to France, Deepti, and a rather ugly scandal surrounding the French footballer Paul Pogba. It's on a lot of the front pages today.
Yeah, that scandal broke on the weekend, Sharon, but it continues to dominate the newspapers. France 24's website reports that police have opened an investigation after Paul Pogba told investigators that childhood friends and two armed men were among those reportedly demanding 13 million euros from him. Among the blackmailers are reportedly his own brother, Matthias. And the scandal gets even more bizarre. Pogba claims that the blackmailers also wanted to discredit him by revealing that he asked a witch doctor to cast a spell on his French teammate Kylian Mbappé, which Paul Pogba denies. Now, the Pogba affair, that's how L'Équipe, the French sports paper, puts on its front page, is based on rumors for the moment, but it could certainly rock the French football team. We've seen how scandals in the past have affected team morale, and Pogba is a key asset of Les Bleus. He played a key role in their win in 1998, so in 2018 rather. So this could all sort of play as the French team prepares to defend its title at the World Cup in Qatar in December.
It's the last thing they need coming up to that. Then moving on to Serena Williams, she's in the US Open. She's on the front pages again of a lot of papers in the US ahead of what's going to be her last Grand Slam.
What she said will be her last Grand Slam. You never know with athletes, right? But yeah, that's right. After more than 2 decades, Serena Williams is playing in what she says will be her last ever Grand Slam, after which she'll be retiring. She is, for many, the greatest of all time. She holds the most tennis titles of any player. That's 23 Grand Slam titles, any player, male or female. She won her first round match yesterday, one that was attended by stars and politicians alike, like Queen Latifah, Mike Tyson, but also former President Bill Clinton. Time magazine has dedicated one of its September issues to the greatest of all time, Serena Williams. She's there in a very powerful front page picture there. On its website, the magazine also pays tribute to Williams in this article, saying, I quote, "She helped change behavioral expectations for women athletes by exuding power and passion. She rewrote the book on body image. She also famously won the Australian Open when she was 9 weeks pregnant and returned to tennis after her daughter's birth. So she really was a role model for many women who also want to have families. In this article, in fact, she speaks about the difficult choice of deciding to retire and a choice that was really a question of career and family. She was also outspoken and unapologetic for her successes. And off court, she's on track to become the first female billionaire athlete. Sharon.
Finally then, Deepti, a bit of an unusual one. A man in Nebraska, he's celebrating his 60th birthday by setting a world record. Tell us about it.
Well, if you thought that was weird, the way he did it is even weirder. Dwayne Hansen from Nebraska recently rang in his 60th birthday by paddling 60 kilometers down a river in a huge hollowed-out pumpkin called Bertie that he grew himself. He asked local authorities to witness this sporting achievement for posterity. He's now waiting on the Guinness Book of Records to validate his record because, indeed, pumpkin paddling is an actual thing. The current record holder paddled around 40 kilometers. So if Hansen's record is validated, he'll break it. It's a weird thing to do, but it's apparently very athletic. He had to sit crouched for long periods of time. There's even a video of him pumpkin paddling if you want to check it out on the Guardian's website.
Okay, Deepti, thank you for that. I don't know which is more impressive, the fact that he broke that record at that, or that such a sport even exists.
Or that he grew the pumpkin in the first place.
That's Deepti Laurent. You can find more press reviews, of course, on our website.